Welcome to Jethro's Garage. So today we're going to talk a little bit about some tools. My favorite subject here, maybe, I don't know. Anyway, I've got 3 bit ratchet sets. Been seeing a whole lot of talk about them lately. There's a lot of great products on the market. You need to figure out what you're really looking for in one before you go buying one, whether it's thinner, more degrees of arc, finer tooth, what have you. You need to figure out what you want. If you want something to really put a lot of pressure on, that's another thing to consider. I consider bit ratchets a lighter duty thing. They've been around for a while. Chapman makes a set and they look kind of, what's the word? They're simple, they're straightforward, and they've been around for a very long time, but a lot of other companies have come in and improved upon it. So you go by the Chapman and it's a real thin profile. It comes with a handle, a screwdriver handle, a lot of other stuff, and they've really got what they need in that platform. But you got a lot of others. So today I'm going to be talking about the Tool Check Plus from Wera. We talked about the Blue Point bit ratchet set, and I'm going to be talking about the Sunex. Now, all 3 of these has their place. I won't say one's better than the other. I'm going to go through the different points on each and let y'all decide. I will say that between these 3, the Sunex is the cheapest, the Tool Check Plus is next, and then the Blue Point is the highest. So I tell you what, we'll start with the Sunex. So it comes with a neat little case. I'm not sure whether I like it. We like that we can see this, but we know that this right here is going to get scratched up. I know it's nitpicky, but that's kind of how I feel about it. As far as the rest, I like the case. It looks nice and everything, but I just know that I'm not going to be careful enough to keep this looking nice. With that being said, that doesn't make this a bad tool at all. It's rather pretty if you ask me. But anyway, let's get on to it. So I'm going to start with the ratchet. One thing I like about the ratchet is it's a flex head. It's not a locking flex head. That would be better, but it's a flex head. And it's a rather fine tooth. And the back drag isn't too bad. With the weight of the ratchet, it still falls almost all the way. Look at it a little bit here. It's got a direction change, on off. One side holds the bits, one side is a 1/4 inch anvil. How do I feel about that? If I'm using this, I'm looking for space. And so I would probably rather the bit adapter be recessed and it only be as thick as the thickest point, which would be right here at this reversing level. If I could redesign this and tell Sunex to do it, that's what I would do. I would remove the anvil, the 1/4 inch anvil, and have it as a bit, because what of us don't have a 1/4 inch driver, right? So if I'm going to complain, that's one of my complaints. Second thing, it comes with a locking extension. Okay, it's nice. Put your bits in, lock them. Don't have to worry about them falling out wherever. It's a pretty nice little deal, It's always good to have these around. So that's good. And then the sockets are spline sockets, and they're dual size. So they're not dual size, but they cover two sizes. So they'll cover like this 13 is a 1/2 inch also. So if you don't know what we're talking about, there we go. All the sockets look pretty decent. They've got a nice pressed or a stamped size marking on it, so you don't have to worry about it wearing off. They look well done, well machined. There's nothing crazy about them. So, and this covers a significant amount of different sizes, and it goes from, if my old eyes can let me see here, 4 and 3/30, 4 millimeter and a 3/32, all the way up to 13 and a 1/2 inch, 13 or a 1/2 inch. So as we see here, there's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 sockets. So that's a pretty decent kit, fairly well rounded. Time will tell how that spline works for you. Those that have used them probably love them. I've got mixed feelings about it. As far as the bits, they got a decent assortment of bits. They got 3 number 2s. No, they got 4 number 2s, which is the one you're going to use the most. The number 2 is probably going to be your most significant one, and looks like they're machined pretty well. They look cut well. Time will tell whether they actually grab and bite and stay on there. A lot of things I like to do, this isn't the proper fastener, but if you can take a bit and put it in there like that and it stays, it's decent. You know, some of them will, some of them won't, but it's a number 2 and it's in a number 2 and it fits. It comes with your tamper-proof torques, which also, you know, you can use them as regular torques. I wouldn't put the same amount of torque down on them, but hey, that's neither here nor there. And a decent set of Allen heads. I imagine all these Allens are, you know, they're all, well, it says 1/4. And this is a 5. So I guess we're metric and some standard. So we got metric Allens here and standard Allens here. Fairly decently rounded kit. Not a bad price. I don't know the price right off the top of my head. I'll put a link to it there in the description. If you're interested in it, check it out. I would buy it. If I was needing one, I would probably buy it. If I couldn't find, you know, if there wasn't a better one. Next is this Tool Check Plus. Oh, by the way, this is my little brother's. He was given this as a birthday present, Christmas present. I think a Dirty Santa deal. He let me use it to do this video. And he loves it. He really loves it. He keeps it in his Jeep though. This is a Tool Check Plus by Wera. I've had this for over 2 years now. I think I got it through a Amazon Day deal or a Black Friday deal. I've liked it. I've used it. But you know, it has its pluses and minuses just like everything. So, like with the other one, we're going to start with the case. The case, I like the case. Everything stays in, even though we're sitting here. You know, everything is sort of viewable, but it stays in. So, I like that. The ratchet, it's a little smaller than that Sunex, but it's also not as thick. So this is like I was talking about on that Sunex. So pretty much we're recessed, you know, maybe not as much as I would like it to be. Let's pull it out and compare them. This do right here. To the edge of this, without the anvil, they're almost the same size. The Wera is just, I should have had a pair of mics here and gave you the exact, but you get the idea. These are just a little bit thinner. So you go and throw in a bit on here. Let me open it up. It might be just a little thinner. So here we go. It's got a pretty good solid bit retention. Should have went over that with the other one, but we're good. I mean, it's, like I said, it's a good kit. I like the knurling here, so if I can get on here, I can use that to spin it as a spinner instead of, if I can't actually move right here. Again, this is reversible. The bits do not go in on both sides. That, it would be a plus. I know they're doing it for retention here to keep it from pushing all the way through, but it would be a plus if you could put a bit in here and say you also had a 1/4-inch hex rod that could go all the way through and maybe put something on the end or whatever. I don't know. I seen a, where is it? There's another kit out there. They sell it at Harbor Freight now. It's Icon, I think, and it looks pretty neat. I'm gonna have to grab one and check it out. But anyway, this is a well-made little ratchet. I love it. It's fine tooth. I wonder if this, I'm not sure what the back drag is on this. Let's see. Oh, wrong way. So about the same as the other. This ratchet is a little lighter, and so this back drag is just a little better. So it's hard to measure. If I had a small torque wrench, I could see, you know, how much it takes to move it one click, but it'd have to be a very light weighted torque wrench. So anyways, I like the little ratchet. It's neat, and it can fit into some tight spaces. Next, again, this one comes with a locking extension. This locking extension, where the other one, you pull it down and hold it, put your socket in, and it goes back on its own. This one, you pull it down, put your socket in, and pull it out as you were. Huh, that's neat. This one, you put your socket in and you pull it down and it holds it in. Where the other one, you have to hold down on it, put your socket in and release it, or your bit in and release it. So it's a nice little extension. I wouldn't, I'd use either one of them. This one is a little bigger around right here, and it has a nice little rubber grip here. It spins free. So do with that what you want. This comes with a little bitty small screwdriver handle. Now, if you want to use a screwdriver for something and it's significant, this may or may not do the trick, but this is it. And it's a nice little deal. It fits in a kit, and it'll get you out of some small jams. I'm not going to say this is going to fix the Titanic when it's going down, but you know what? It may get you back on the road and going if you need to. I think I did use this kit. I had some, my fender flares on my travel trailer had come loose, and I had to go through and tighten everything up. It was a little aggravating, but Alabama state bird trying to bite me here. But anyway, it's a nice little addition, you know, and it's nice and compact. Doesn't take in a whole lot of extra room. Next thing is how the bits are held. I want to show that. So they're all like that. It's a little switch right here. You press up on it, you fold it out, and then they separate like that. It's a really nice case. If I'm going to brag on this, anything at all, it's the case. Okay, so everything else, I'm trying to be impartial, but I do like this, so I can't deny that this is one of my, I've used it a lot anyway. Next thing is the sockets. So you got less of a selection here. We go from 5.5 to 13. We've only got 7 of them, and they're all 6-point. So it's not quite a nice selection as the other, but that being said, they are nice. They all have knurling on the top. So you, instead of, if you just pulled it out, you could twist stuff off with your finger. Maybe after you loosen it up, you know, you have less room. You could get in there and twist it off with your finger. Knurling makes handling tools a whole lot easier sometimes. On these bits, they're nice. I have 2 sets of Phillips, a gold set and a gray set. They're pretty decent. All of them are nice. So there we go. It fits good. That's a number 2 and a number 2, and it fits good. I didn't shake that other one, so don't give it bad deals. I don't know why they gave me, well, I guess they did. We've got security Torx or tamper-proof Torx and regular Torx here. Not sure. I think I would have rather had a better selection of tamper-proof and did away with the regular, because like I said, I'm not going to be putting a whole lot of torque on these things. I don't plan on it. I'm hoping not to have to. So I would probably want a better selection of Torx bits if I could change that. They only give you one flat head, which personally for me is okay, because I mean that's just a pry bar, right? I mean, I hope I don't need a flat head, because I hate them. I just hate them. Unless I'm tuning a carburetor, you know, hey. They have a little 1/4-inch bit. Go in here, and with that, I think this is going to be, yeah, this will be actually thicker. So this will be thicker than this one. So if you're looking for that, hey, go for the Sunex. But if not, you know, I think this will be your one if it was just a flex head. But anyway, put that back up. Last but not least, I didn't cover it. It's got a belt clip. Put on your belt. You can even throw it in your back pocket. I mean, it's pretty small. So it's not a bad little deal. Like I said, I like it. I'm sorry. I know I'm being impartial here. I've used it a lot, and I'm pretty happy with it. Last but not least is the Blue Point. So my little brother purchased this for me. I'm gonna set it right there for a second. So this was a Christmas gift from my brother. Nice kit. I actually keep this one on my motorcycle and this one in my truck. When I'm at home, I pull this one out and put it in my toolbox. This is a nice little kit. It's got a nice case. It's hard. I feel I can throw it around and not have to worry too much about it. I don't know if it would open up on me, but just normal daily use, it's not opening up, okay? Well, so, and everything's pretty much where it's supposed to be when I open it up. To start with on this, I mean, and it fits in there real nice. So, this one's a little different. So, first of all, the bit end is thinner on this one than on either of the other two. And it's thinner all the way around, but also longer. So here's your size comparison. Okay. Now, it's also thinner here. It also has a reverse switch. So, this is the bit end. It reverses. It's got some knurling. This head is smaller than on the Wera. Okay, and it's smaller all the way around. In thickness and width, it's smaller. If I was to put a bit in the Wera and the Blue Point will come out on top. It comes out, looks like almost 1/8 of an inch shorter. I'm going to try to show you this here. And that's a big deal when you're in a confined space and trying to get that loose. That's a big deal. For that reason, I like this. It's not the same as these other two, because then you flip it over, and it's got a 1/4 inch anvil with a spinner top on the other side, and you've got a release for your socket here. So they hold on pretty good. It makes it a nice little driver. Now, well, let me finish this. It is fine tooth as well, and this is heavier, so I don't know how to compare it to the other, but the back drag on this is really nice. If it wasn't so much longer and therefore being heavier on the end, I don't know how it would compare to the Wera on the back drag. I'll stop there and sort of explain something. If you don't understand what I'm talking about when I say back drag, it is, you're on a fastener and it's semi-loose, but it's not loose enough. And you loosen it up and you go to get another bite, but that back drag, the lighter it is, the more likely it'll help you get another bite instead of turning the nut back on. So you want as light a back drag as possible. That's when you're doing maintenance on these, you don't use some heavy oil or something inside the gear mechanism, because that right there makes your back drag tighter or more. If you in your big 3/4 inch drive ratchet, no big deal, but on something like this, you really want it to be as precise as possible, right? So anyway, that back drag, it's nice. I'm going to do this side because this end is lighter, so we'll see what the back drag on the 1/4 inch anvil side is like. See, the back drag on the 1/4 inch anvil isn't as nice. So I would say that it's possible that the bit side is better than the ratchet side. Not really sure. But anyway, reversing both of these, on-off switch, reversing. it's a nice little ratchet. And if you're buying it for a ratchet, I mean, you pretty much got both of what you need. And you can use this in, I would say you could probably put just as much or more torque than these other two, possibly. I don't know. It's a Blue Point. You should be able to warranty it. It is made in Taiwan, just like the Sunex probably is. But anyway, it's nice. But you're going to pay for it. The again, very well built ratchet. So this doesn't come with a locking bit holder. It does come with a 1/4 inch extension, which, you know, I don't know. I would like to have some type of a locking bit extension, but it doesn't have it. Next is the selection of sockets. They're nice. They're nice. They got the they're machined to not catch on the quarters, but to catch on the flats. Just like a lot of snap-on stuff, a lot of stuff that's made nowadays. We go from 4 to 13. Looks like there's no skip here. Got a small selection of bits. It's not bad, but I mean, we only got 3 Torx, 2 Phillips, and only one of them being a number 2. 3 flat heads, and I probably don't need none of those, maybe one just to have it. Some square drives, and I use them at home. I never have a need to use them on the road, but you never know. I do have them in my travel trailer, so there's that. And a few hex heads. So this kit is really lacking in the bits department. That being said, this is a T27 that I keep in there for the motorcycle. And that's about it for this one. It's it doesn't have all the features, but I mean, like y'all heard me raving on this little ratchet. Something to check out, and I may do this, is Gear Wrench makes one. And it may be very similar, and I would like to compare the two and see if they're the same. I actually have featured it and put a link on it, but I've never actually had one in my hands. But the price on it was awesome, $20-something for a kit that had more to it than this. Now that was on deal for Father's Day, and it may still be there, may still be going on in another way, shape, or form. But I want to check it out and see, and maybe I'll make another video later and get the Gear Wrench and the Icon to compare those two and add them to it. Last thoughts. Oh, of course y'all want to see me put number 2 inside this screw, right? Well, okay, that is the first fail. Let me turn it, make sure I'm, okay, we got it. I guess I was holding it different. So this one holds 2. They're all pretty decent. This one isn't fitting as tight for some reason. I don't know what I've done. But anyway, oh, that's because that's a PZ and not a, that's what these gold ones are. Sorry, hey, I messed up. These gold ones are PZs instead of Ps. Hey, it's a big no-no, right? Someone was probably out there hollering at me on the video, trying to compare the two. So those aren't regular Phillips bits. So I'd used a gray one on it. The PZ, just in case you don't know, it's a special type of bit. I think it's close. It's similar to a JIS, but it's got a little bitty. Well, I'll show you. See if I can get a bigger one here. it's got another raised area in here, and it's to help fit fasteners better and to lock in there. JIS and PZ are similar, but I wouldn't recommend using them interchangeably. Now I could be wrong on that. Someone correct me if I am. Do it down in the comments. Just don't drag me too bad. Other than that, that's all it is for today. I know it covered a lot of ground, but I wanted to give you as much possible information on these that I could. Keep watching. I'm going to keep churning out content as much as possible. This video, I'm actually going to release it tonight. I've got other videos that I've been working on forever that, you know, are on the back burner, but I went ahead and did this one today so I could release it. Y'all be great. Take care of yourselves. Hopefully we'll have some hot rod content as soon as possible, and we'll talk about some bikes and motorcycles and hot rods and anything else I can cook up and figure out, and still talk about some toolboxes. I've got my dad's old toolbox to go through here and give y'all a gander at. So y'all take care. How about now? What does it look like? Okay, so okay, so today on Jethro's Garage and Fam, we're